Hey, how's it going, all wrestling guru viewers? Mitch,
And Jared.
and we are back. This is our first video back together doing an actual wrestling gurus video in 10 years. That is wild.
Wild. That is absolutely wild. It's honestly weird just sitting here right now and staring at a camera again. Just doesn't feel real at all.
Before we even started, it was setting up the tripod and Jared looking at me going, okay, yeah, this is weird. We ended up filming a live reactions, our first live reactions since Elimination Chamber 2015. That live reactions that we just filmed felt like the most authentic and was kind of weird because at the start, Jared was like, I don't know what to do with a camera in my face right now. It's just completely weird. And
it's been so long since we've done this, and it's just... And honestly, when we stopped doing it, it wasn't fun anymore. And I'm not going to lie, like the live reactions we just filmed, it really brought back a lot of the fun that I missed. Yeah. Honestly, it just brings so much more fun filming for these pay-per-views.
And the other thing that we have here is the Wrestling Gurus Championship that you guys may have haven't seen in a while. And I'll just be honest with you. You guys are going to say, well, was it just in storage? Why does it look so tattered up or anything? Or maybe you don't see it from camera side. In those last 10 years, we used this title as title to win in Mario Kart in NHL Hits 2003.
Yeah, it's basically used as a video game championship now, funny enough.
So we threw this here for nostalgia reasons, and Jared and I are going to give you guys your review for Money in the Bank. Jared, do you want to take the first match off and we can talk about it?
Yeah, we started off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Wasn't a fan, honestly. Like, there was like spots in this match where we just stood around and we were like, what's going on? Like, just everything just felt offbeat. Some of the spots, they were like trying to sync up and it was just awkward. Timing was off. And all around, I just was like, boo. And the ending just topped it off with one big sour taste in our mouths, honestly.
Well, and if you go onto TikTok, we just added a quick little short. It is in our live reactions. But it was just the reaction of Naomi winning. And we barely saw her in the match. Like, really, we barely saw her. But it felt like you said, they're trying to sync up their moves to hit the same finishing move at the same identical time. It was clunky. You could tell that a lot of these women never worked with each other before.
Exactly. It felt like this match had a lot of women that didn't have matches together before. Especially when Roxanne Perez and Julia were like wrestling, and it just felt very awkward when those two were like doing spots together. Like, they just weren't in sync. There was a lot of like, okay, what do we do next? Not a good women's Money in the Bank match at all.
No,
and the Naomi win, I get it. The Naomi win, she's in a path of like, she turned on Jade. She's a heel now. She's different. I'm biased because I'm not a big Naomi fan. I just it's very hard to get into Naomi. I'm sorry. Like, I don't see the appeal.
Well, and the other thing too, I look at storyline wise, and you could have given it, like, I agree, you shouldn't have given it to Rhea Ripley. Because she's been on top for a while.
But there were so many girls in there that they could have gave the Money in the Bank.
I would have said give it to Roxanne Perez and have Liv Morgan and her kind of feud over it.
I liked your idea, honestly. When she said that, I was like, oh, maybe they'll go that route. And I feel like the Naomi win shows, because there's been reports of Triple H saying he's not a fan of Money in the Bank. And it doesn't surprise me with how it's booked these last few years with Triple H under control.
Yeah.
Besides the Damian Priest one, who knows what these two coming up here, but besides the Damian Priest one, the track record of the Money in the Bank cash-ins are very lackluster.
Yeah, I agree. Let's lead into the next match. In the next match, we're not going to talk super long about it because it was like a Raw match. You have Octagon Jr. going and facing off against Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Octagon Jr., like, we could say, oh, he performed really well and this was really good. It's standard lucha wrestling for me. There was nothing that really stood out to it. It was a Raw match.
I feel like the inclusion of this guy is them trying to be like, hey guys, let's go watch our AAA Worlds Collide pay-per-view that we had earlier. Go check it out. There was like almost like a little advertisement for that. It felt like, and also I think they added this to like make up for the 4 matches. I do think they are listening to an extent because there was some people complaining about the 4 match cards. That's a whole separate video. We can talk about that. You know, too many matches is too long. Too little of matches is too short. They got to come up with a happy medium here. Well, I feel like 6 matches could be fine on pay-per-views. Well, and 4 matches is criminal.
Well, and not to hate AEW either, but I can't sit through a 12-match.
No, I'm sorry, either. But a 5.5-hour pay-per-view is too long. It's come up with that happy medium where I find the TKO era of WWE does pace pay-per-views well. I find once it ends, I'm not like, hey, that was too long.
You don't feel exhausted. You don't feel like you hate wrestling.
I for the perfect example of when we sat through WrestleMania 32, I wanted to shoot my brains out. It was so long. Like Roman Reigns versus Triple H. Like you might as well have just gotten the blinders on and just went to bed. Like, God, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Too long.
And that's the biggest thing right now with that match. This match was just a Raw match. And I know I complained about it in my predictions video. And I said, like 4 matches, really, people are paying a lot of money to be at these pay-per-views, and that's what. Oh, sorry, PLEs. They're paying a lot of money, and to only get 4 matches, sometimes you're just like, is that worth it?
And not to discredit like Triple H as booking, as I feel like he's more. The Vince era, I don't miss. I don't miss the Miz versus MVP match added last minute to a pay-per-view. Who cares? Who cares about that? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then the mid-card titles were always props. I feel like things are paced now to like where he'll make time on TV shows. He'll make time on pay-per-views. He'll make time on NXT. He gives these guys time and he just spreads it out instead of cramming everything into a pay-per-view. Because honestly, if you cram so much onto a pay-per-view too, then you have 2-minute matches. It's like, so it is tough to the argument of too many matches, too little of matches, that or whatever, right? But this Dom Mysterio versus Octagon Junior match, it was a TV match, and it was okay.
Yeah, it like there was no negatives to it. I love Dominic Mysterio for the fact that he's the IC champion. I think he's done a miraculous job.
Dominic's been great, and honestly, I feel like there's big things coming for that guy down the road.
Yeah,
and it's going to be so good once he hits his peak, and I feel like hasn't even come close to that yet because he's so young.
No, and it's just going to be only up from here for Dominic.
Yeah.
Next match. Let's just be honest here. It was Lyra Valkyria defending her women's IC championship against Becky Lynch. What were your initial thoughts? I wasn't overall hyped for this match.
I'm going to say this right now, and everyone can have a different opinion. I hate the women's mid-card belts. I feel like Mitch will disagree, probably likes them, because he told me that before. I feel like if they're going to do those, they better follow the draft, because to me, everything is so scattered right now that I don't even, like, sometimes I have to think who's champion. Like, sitting here right now, I can't tell you who the women's U.S. champion is. I literally can't. I don't even know. Because Zelina Vega. See, I did not know that because there's so many belts now to where I have to think and be like, okay, who the heck's champion now? Because there's so many titles in the company. Yeah. And that to me is a problem where they should cut back. And like, I get you want to give women, a chance, give belts time, give women on the roster time. But when you scatter the roster in belts and everyone, like Kevin Nash said it best, I can't remember what he said it on. It was a podcast or something like that. He said, when I turn the show on and I see a champion every 5 minutes, who cares? What belt's what? Well, and to me, that diminishes the titles. So I'm going off topic here, but the match itself was good. We all knew Becky was going to win. Let's be honest here. We all knew Becky because she lost the last match they had.
You want to put a name also to that. You want to have a name of.
You need to get a name on it, yes. And I do think, like I said before, I was complaining about the women's mid-card belts, but at the same time too, I do get that they want to bring in these belts to symbolize like the girls are taken seriously now. So I get that, and it is good to see someone like Becky Lynch hold that belt, and the match itself is fine. So.
Well, and exactly, like the matches are fine. We were worried about it being a count out, so thank God it wasn't.
Oh, if that was a count out, I've been like, oh, do we really need to see this go on?
The false finish too that even just that manhandle slam off the top of the second rope.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good false finish as well. It's just that one of those matches that it's like it's tough to buy into. And I know what you're saying about the women's championships and too many championships, but I agree with you on saying that we need to have a consistent draft. If you're saying so and so is on Raw, they're on Raw. If so and so is on SmackDown, they're on SmackDown. Yeah. You got to follow that draft.
Well, and that's the thing is they do their draft, they follow it for like
a week.
Sometimes they'll, like I remember in 2017 or whatever, they committed to it for a good like 6 months, and I was like, wow, they're actually committing, and then it fell apart again. They always fall apart, and then the Triple H era, the TKO era, doesn't follow it at all. No, they do a draft, don't follow it, just scatter it around, and then no one's on the same show, and to me, that hurts the belts, honestly.
Well, yeah, and the also thing is a lot of wrestling promotions right now are putting too many belts on. And that's also the problem. Like, look at AEW, for example. AEW is now having like the international and continental championship against Okada and Kenny Omega because even Tony Khan's looking at it going, too many belts.
Well, we got to they will listen to the feedback, and I feel like they will unify belts eventually, and I feel like they will. They will listen to the fans and unify some of the titles eventually because just there's too many belts.
Yeah. Let's get on to the next match, which was the men's Money in the Bank match. And I'll start off with this saying that I was very, very happy with what they were able to give us. I was very, very happy with the spots compared to what we saw in the women's Money in the Bank match. We've seen way better Money in the Bank matches from women. This was by far, I would say, probably the worst women's Money in the Bank match that I sat through and I watched. It wasn't my favorite. And maybe you liked it, and that's great that you liked it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, but this men's one delivered. They delivered big time. This is a men's Money in the Bank I'll rewatch. If you watch
run-ins too, like the countless run-ins, the story building, like
they honestly had us on the edge of our seat to where the ending we were kind of hoping for more run-ins. We were a little disappointed, but at the same time, I can't complain. Like the match delivered. Seth Rollins did walk out as everyone expected as Money in the Bank winner. What's going to happen next? Most people think he's going to cash in on Raw and walk out world champion, but they could wait and see what happens. They may not do it right away. They might extend it. But at the end of the day, I feel like this is ending with Seth Rollins as world champion to lose it to CM Punk. That's my guess.
Well, and what I wanted was El Grande Americano to walk out with that with the Money in the Bank. I think Chad Gable that is playing that role. You got to look at it. This guy is busting his butt, and just coming out of a match at Worlds Collide. And now doing a ladder match. This guy is a machine.
I like what they're doing with Chad Gable. I honestly, like Mitch said in the other video too, they're really grooming this guy to try to make him the next Kurt Angle. And they're trying to get people to be like, get behind this guy. He's going to be serious.
Yeah.
I think Chad Gable's here to play, and I think he's going to be a main eventer. I just feel like they're slowly getting him to that point, and it's coming.
Oh,
and people are going to initially not like it. They're going to hate on it. But then they're going to be like, this guy's a real deal.
Well, he is. And the matches that he's putting on, like the guy is he's putting on complete wrestling clinics every single week. It's showing. He is a great wrestler.
Yeah. And honestly, I know there's going to be a lot of people too that are hating that LA Knight didn't go over in this match. There's a lot of LA Knight fans that are fed up with the LA Knight rise reminds me of a lot of the Daniel Bryan fans, where they were just fed up with he's never getting that chance. And I feel like LA Knight's time will come. It's just when, I don't know. But yeah, I
don't think that guy is getting held down at all either. Like he had
I think more people want him to be in the main event scene where they did rush him and Roman, and then it was like, hey, back to the mid card man, right? It's not like he's being jobbed or anything.
But even him and Jacob Fatu, I will always go back and watch that match and go that the BFT right from the moonsault down. I thought that.
And let's also talk about the Jacob Fatu turn in Solo. As much as I despise Solo, I just can't get into the guy. They're doing a good job of the storyline of Jacob turning on Solo and
putting him through a ladder.
Yeah. And Jacob's awesome. And honestly, the reports of Jacob overshadowing Solo were 100% accurate. Is happening. He has overshadowed Solo massively.
And I love that too, where he grabs his foot and he goes, "I hate you, Solo." Yeah. Like, they're doing such great things here. And be prepared, Jared. They probably will have Solo at some point win the United States Championship.
Probably, yeah. Which makes sense. And that's okay for storyline purposes with Jacob Fatu and whatever. And, I'll give Solo a hard time because I just can't get into the guy. I'm sorry. And I will keep giving him a hard time. Like Mitch said, some of his selling, he's not good. He's
taking a clothesline over the rope.
No, and just his mic work is forced. And I don't know. Like, Solo to me is a project that isn't going.
He's authentic.
He's a project that isn't going as planned. That's just the best way I can put it. Where Jacob is a project that is going
Jacob is
as planned, soaring through every expectation.
Yeah, like overall, we thought CM Punk and Roman Reigns were going to come in and interrupt.
Yeah, but then at the same time too, it's like you don't want to overbook it too much. How many run-ins do you need, right? We had Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
And you'll see that in the live reactions too. We're like, CM Punk, Roman, we're like, oh, they're ending it like this. And it, again, expectations kind of turn what you want to see. However, we are happy with what happened. It's just, I guess we were just hoping for Reigns and Punk to kind of
honestly, to see what happens next will be exciting. I feel like we're on that downslide from WrestleMania right now, where when SummerSlam rolls around, it'll be the slide up, and things will start looking up more. I'm enjoying WWE overall, weekly. I find it's fun to watch. It's not a snooze fest like it was in the Vince era. I way prefer the TKO era over the Vince era, by miles.
Well, let's just add this too, that WWE Network came out when we were still doing wrestling groups. Yeah. Now the WWE Network is no more, and we're on Netflix.
Well, there's a lot of difference. I mean, here in Canada, we have everything on Netflix. In the States, they have Peacock. Everything is changing massively since we've last been on YouTube.
Yeah, so super, super impressed. And let's just get into the main event that we were super impressed with. What started off slow. Watch Cody Rhodes, watch Jey Uso, watch Logan Paul, and then watch John Cena. That is the current WWE Undisputed Champion. And we get to sit and now talk about John Cena as a heel, which is insane.
It is weird. It is. That's a whole separate video. We could go on and on about that.
2013, we thought he was going to be a heel.
Yeah.
And he was this close to becoming heel. And now we get to sit here now and talk to you about him having his last run as a WWE Undisputed Champion. Yeah. Talking about Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso in the main event.
Yeah, very strange. Main event overall was fun.
Wow.
But what Mitch was saying, John Cena as a heel, it's had its ups and downs, but it is what it is. It's doing its thing. It's delivering. People are enjoying it. Just go for the ride. Did we expect Rock and Travis Scott to be on all the time in the group? Of course we did. And I think that's what's kind of hurting it a little. Everyone's like, well, we thought it was going to be a whole group takeover, and where are they? Had they not included The Rock in the heel turn, probably wouldn't have set the expectations as high as they were.
Yeah.
But overall, the heel turn's been going, I'd say, as okay as it can.
Well, and let's talk about Logan Paul in this match, hitting a moonsault off of the second rope.
That was awesome. I think Logan Paul is exceeding everyone's expectations by miles. When this guy came in, I was like, oh, here we go again, another celebrity. Another waste of time. Wrote him right off. Watched the first match he was in. I said, there's something there. When I sold into Logan Paul was him versus Roman Reigns at the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. And I was like, this guy is... That was one of Roman's best matches. And I was like, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah, the guy can deliver. And despite how you feel about Logan Paul...
You can't deny what he's giving.
Personal endeavors and the things that he has done.
Of course he's done bad things. But
who hasn't?
Yeah. But you can't deny what this guy is doing in WWE. He doesn't have to be there at all, and the stuff he's doing in the ring,
he makes more on sponsorships in Prime than he does actually wrestling, and he's choosing to put his body on the line.
That's what I mean. He's literally paying his dues. He got trained. He's doing it the right way. How can you not respect the guy and be like, this guy is awesome?
He's committed to his craft. He's working hard, and he's amping up the level each time.
Yeah.
Now, you can sit here and be on the biggest Logan Paul hate train, but
I could totally see the other side too.
Yeah,
I could see the other side. Too. Screw this guy is the whole Suicide Forest thing, the whole controversy. I could see why, But at the same time, too, you got to respect for what he's doing with the business right now.
What we're doing here too, guys, is we're pulling back. Instead of looking at it all personal, we're looking at it as wrestling fans. What are we getting from the product from Logan Paul? What are we getting from Logan Paul?
Well, you look at it too, like, I could put him in the same category as Bad Bunny. These are two guys that did it right.
Yeah.
They actually got trained to be wrestlers, not just come in. And Logan Paul could have half-assed it. I'll go to a little session.
Yeah.
I'll do some matches every now and again. And they probably would have paid him the exact same. But he actually got trained properly, and he's learning how to wrestle like the best. And he's hanging with the best. Well, and it's showing. Yeah. He's getting better. And I honestly think his promo skills have gotten better, too. I thought that was his weakness, and they're getting better.
Oh, and he knows how to get under the fan skin.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing. Now, speaking of the ending beyond shocked the living snot out of us. We all know about R-Truth. You've heard me talk about R-Truth.
That was a shocker for sure. When Truth showed up.
Can you say what you saw, what you said before when the guy slides in?
Oh, the Masked Man from SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Yeah, I cracked a little joke, and it was funny because I kind of spoiled myself because Truth's shirt lifted up a bit, and I saw the color of his skin, and I was like, oh, that's Truth, because there's no black man attacking Cena. That's not R-Truth. That kind of gave it away. So I kind of pre-spoiled it, but at the same time, too, I'm glad to see Truth back because they listened to the crowd, honestly. Like, he didn't technically get released. They just didn't renew his contract. So once the backlash came in, they were probably like, okay, we'll just renew the guy.
Yeah.
They knew they had to do it.
Well, come on. This guy was a morale builder for the WWE.
And not only that, too, now that they got the fans backing him that much more, you got a whole new storyline. They could give Truth and Cena again. Give a more serious side to Truth.
No, let's throw a little spin here. We know we're going to have a lot of people going, it was a work all along.
Oh, I already read comments like that after pay-per-view. Oh, they Mark Henry'd us. Guys, they fired R-Truth, and then they were like, we screwed up. Let's re-sign him. That's what happened. And that's good. That's good for the company. The company backtracked.
Because do you think for a second that the WWE thought the fans were going to backlash that hard?
I don't think so. I think they thought, R-Truth will get fired with Carlito. You'll see a few comments, that's too bad. Thank you, Truth, and that would have been it. But on Raw, SmackDown, and the few following shows, they were like, oh, we made a mistake.
And the fans show, even with the Cody scenario, about him giving his spot to Rock. Same thing. The fans, we want Truth. We want Truth. We want Cody. We want Cody. When they want something.
This says a lot, though, about the TKO era. In the Vince era, he would have ignored that completely. You would never have saw Truth again. We got to give it to them. They brought him back, and they listened, and really quickly too, and put him in a big situation.
Yeah.
So give it to TKO there, because there was a lot of hate going around saying like, what are they doing? This, that, and they did the right thing.
Even in my YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos, and even just talking about it, I was disheartened by it too, because
I don't think this was a work in the slightest.
No,
they just backtracked on their bad mistake. Yeah.
So honestly, Money in the Bank, the two matches that sold it for us was the men's Money in the Bank, and then we look at the main event, which the very ending shocked us. And you got an authentic reaction for the first time, because before we were just like, oh, this is great, we're filming videos. And then we actually freaked when we saw R-Truth. It was a genuine surprise. Yeah. And I think that's the best thing.
I like it didn't leak either that he resigned or they're going to get him back. And because I saw some reports that TNA were interested. And so he legitimately was gone. TNA was reaching out.
Well, and just imagine this too. Imagine if he would have went to AEW and they went with the gimmick of him pretending that John Moxley was Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. And I honestly think he would have ended up there or ended up in Impact. He would have ended up somewhere. But WWE was like, let's backtrack here. I don't think R-Truth's leaving WWE ever now. I feel like they found out this guy's here for life and he ain't going anywhere.
Honestly, it was a well-done ending, and it ended on such a good note. With that being said, we're going to end this video off. But we want to thank all of you Wrestling Guru viewers, the ones that for 10 years, and some of you may have actually just found this video, and you may find it 2 weeks, a month, a year, 2 years from now, and go, holy crap, Mitch and Jared are back. Some of you found it very, very quick and said, we cannot believe you guys are back. You are the reasons why we're back.
Well, I would come across comments like, I miss the wrestling gurus, and I'm like, wow, they still remember.
They still
remember.
us.
I typed in Chat GPT, where are the wrestling gurus? And they were like, they left YouTube, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wow, Chat GPT knows who we are. It's just wild.
It's things like that. And we were just kids when we made these videos.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of crazy to think we come from like teenagers to grown adults now doing this, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, grown adults setting up a tripod that can now be filmed by a phone and get better quality, and you can edit from your phone. And I always think we were almost ahead of our time at that time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When we were doing live reactions before, there was no reaction videos on YouTube. No. Nothing. Not even a single person did reaction videos when we were doing it.
So just for the record, guys, the OG live reactions are back. You're welcome. With that being said, let's end this video off. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this video. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. And be prepared for us to take you on a ride and catch you up with all the current wrestling and past wrestling facts. Let's end it off with saying, my name's Mitch.
Jared.
That's the end of our video. Peace.